Okay. This will be a quick video with bad angles and white noise in the background. So, this is the first episode of another series that has been on my mind for a while to just hold me accountable to building a better business as a private practice owner. So, yeah, this will be part one of many episodes, presumably, on the business of therapy. And I actually hesitate to say the name of the video series because I think I have it and I'm going to post under a certain name, but I might change it. So I'm not going to immortalize this here because I can change video names, but I can't change what I say in the video. The idea of this for me is at the end of a work week to just offer updates on where I'm at with my business. And I don't know exactly what this will entail because a lot of business, being in the healthcare field, business can mean a lot of different things for people, especially when you think of hospital settings and really any other group settings, private settings. People have a lot of opinions on what business is, and it's a business of helping people with struggles, and is that even right to make money off of it and call it a business? And I think there's a lot of opinions on that. And the way that I look at it is the people who help do have a right to provide for their families, and I know some people think that should be healthcare overall should be free and that should be state ran, and I don't fully agree with that, and I think it's more complicated than just that because there are questions of what counts as healthcare. Even insurance doesn't all agree on that. People don't all agree on that. Some people don't think naturopath doctors are real doctors. They are. They work very hard. But some people don't think they are. And some people don't think therapy is a real field. And some people don't think that chiropractors are legitimate healthcare. Some people don't think that natural remedies are real healthcare. And so it does get really fishy of like, well, what actually counts as healthcare? And so if something's going to be state run, where does the line get drawn? And insurance does that a little bit, but point being is I think every person has a right to make a living and make a career, and I think as long as you're honest and clear about what you offer and help people with alternate options, if someone can't afford your price or you're not a good fit, to be able to say that and help get them in the right direction. I think if everyone would do more of that and not treat people as numbers, but treat people as actual patients, clients, human beings, where the people who treat the service providers, they can be in that position just as easy as someone else, and where the empathy is in that situation. And so I think private practice settings are a lot more empathetic than hospital settings, like as a broad location. There's plenty of people inside of hospitals that are super empathetic. So point being, this is going to be experimental, and I'll see how I feel about it as time goes on and if I get feedback on it. But so things like, I don't know where the line is for talking about how much money is being made because it's people's pain and suffering. It's not that I'm inflicting it, I'm helping with it, but I still get paid to do it. So yeah, I don't know what is appropriate and what isn't, but this is mostly to talk about business. Most people who go through any type of healthcare training will get little to no training on running a business, which if you're in private practice, you're running some sort of business. So that's a lot of the work that I do with my second business of coaching and consulting, helping people start private practices and helping them get over humps and hurdles in their private practice. I love doing that, and I think people who can run successful business are oftentimes more successful at their actual clinical work because they can stress less about money. They're not feeling underwater with taxes and other things that are coming up. Because they're running a smooth business, they can also run a smoother clinical practice. So that's one of my biggest beliefs on running a good business, and successful can mean lots of different things, and that's part of what I practice, helping people run a successful business by their perspective. So I own two businesses: a private practice business that provides clinical care to patients/clients, and I run a coaching consulting business that helps people, primarily other therapists, but not exclusively, run their businesses and get over hurdles in their business, as well as coaching people who they don't need therapy, but they can use some direction in what they want to do in life. So coaching, consulting on that end for that business, and therapy on the other. So I might use this to talk about both businesses, but especially because the therapy side, it doesn't overlap with my consulting coaching side, but I use a therapeutic framework to direct that. So coaching in the sense of like drawing out what makes you tick, what it is about you that is valuable and important that you've identified, and what you bring to the table for the world around you. What's congruent with your business and the way that you want to act. So not getting people to run copycat businesses to mine or the correct business, but rather to run a business that fits their goals, their values, their beliefs, so that they can show up to work and feel really good about what they're doing and not feel like they are living someone else's life to try and make ends meet. And that's where the therapy training overlaps with this. So it's not providing therapy, it's using a therapeutic lens to then coach and consult and direct people in a direction to help their lives or their business. And it is important for me that those are completely separate businesses. Therapy, coaching, consulting, for lots of reasons, it's important to have those separate. And it's notable when they're different. Therapy is often slower and you kind of move through whatever someone's bringing, whereas the coaching and consulting feels a lot quicker and more drawing this thing out to see how it relates to whatever they're trying to do right now in their life for that next step forward, or usually, in my case, for their business next step forward. So the idea of this is just to give weekly updates on where I'm at with those businesses. This week's update, it's 4th of July today, and I'm celebrating with family. That's why my background's different. So I'm not at home. But so I don't have a huge update this week. This is just to make sure I started this so that way I'm on top of it heading into each week. So these videos might air on different days. I don't know yet. I want to try to keep it consistent. Friday is my last day of work in a work week, so they'll probably come out Fridays. This one might come out today, Thursday. I might just save it and publish it Friday just to keep the days consistent. But yeah, so we'll kind of see what that looks like. So the overall update for me this week is that, I don't care what kind of business you run, having breaks is important. Having vacation time is important. And that's kind of the main thing I'm reflecting on, of actual separated time. And I keep looking at my mustache coming over my lip. Jeez. Breaks are important, and there's lots of business people and people that I look up to that talk about, you don't rest, very grind set mentality. You don't go on vacation, you don't do this. Again, my approach to business is from a very therapeutic lens. It's about living the life you want to live. So if you absolutely hate visiting family and stuff like that, whatever, don't. Now, from a therapeutic lens, good family relationship and good relationships overall are indicators of longevity in life, happiness in life, overall fulfillment in life. Pretty much every indicator of a joyful life is in some way connected with quality relationships, and especially with family if you can make that happen. So for me, it doesn't even matter if I want to or not. It's going to happen because all evidence shows it's good for my health. I like spending time with family when I can. I have limits. I have, it might be harder sometimes than others, or certain people might be harder than others, but for the most part, I'm fortunate to have pretty good family. Not everyone does. And even if I didn't, it would still be important to try and take time with people that I might call family or really close friends. And relationships are important. So I think that's a big deal, especially when you're in a service-based industry which therapy, coaching, and consulting are all that. It is often one-on-one time with another person. So I need to be relationally charged to invest relationally, because all three of those jobs is me pouring out with usually very little coming back in to me. So I need a lot of people around me to fill me up and help me be ready for all the work that I do that outpours. So, and that's true for anyone that does any type of service stuff. Ministry counts as well. I think a lot of restaurant, service workers, so serving tables, working a register, you do put into people, and it might not be the same way. Sometimes it's in and out, but anyone who I just described, hair salon people, it doesn't matter how black and white your job is. If you're directly with people, you're going to have those people that will just come in and throw stuff on you. So that's my encouragement for anyone who owns any type of service-based work, that is a huge part of it. And not like, I don't consider like construction work, I know it's service, but I'm talking like where your job is direct interaction face to face with someone, and if that goes south, people don't come back. So that fits a lot of people, personal trainers as well. So lots of people in that category. Yeah, so that's my update for this week. I look forward to seeing how this goes, and I know the audience isn't very big now, but this is something that I'd love to see at some point. Engagements happening in the comments if it gets big enough. Like anything I do on this channel, it's mostly for me, to keep me fresh and to keep me thinking. But I also know there's a huge lack of business discussion and just business approaches in really the therapy field and a lot of the private practice field. It just doesn't get talked about. And when it does, a lot of people are very possessive and hoarding of information. They don't want to share what has made their business successful. I disagree with that wholeheartedly, and I know I've heard fair arguments for why to keep that stuff to yourself, but there's plenty. We don't have a shortage of people in pain in the world, so I'm not concerned if people use things that I've developed or come up with to help build their business, because at the end of the day, the idea, hopefully, is that we're helping more people, and I want to share how to do that as best I can. So as far as I'm concerned, if I'm saying it on this channel, take it and do whatever you want. Well, don't do whatever you want with it. Use it for good stuff, ideally. So that's my stance, is I want this to open up more discussions. So yeah, as that goes, these will be happening more. If you're interested in conversations with me around consulting and coaching, because these videos are going to focus more on that, you can reach out to me on my website, which I'll put in the description below, my email in the description below. Reach out, we can have a conversation, book an appointment if we need to, and see what makes sense. So hopefully this is going to be helpful for people. And yeah, with that, just see y'all next week.